Shopping for a laptop can be daunting with so many options, form factors, and different hardware combinations or features. There are models designed for general productivity, media consumption, gaming, and demanding workloads like video editing and CAD. Additionally, most laptops have various display, CPU, GPU, memory, and storage configurations, making the choice even harder. To help narrow your options, we've compiled a list of the best models at various price points and for different cases like the best laptop for home use. When choosing our recommendations, we consider nearly every aspect of the laptop, including the build, portability, battery life, overall user experience, processing power, price, and availability. To help you find the right model, we've listed the top 5 best laptops and their key features, plus the things you need to consider to help you. Choose the best one for you, and as always, you can check pricing for any of these products in the description below. Like the video, comment, and don't forget to subscribe. Now let's get started. Number 5. Microsoft Surface Pro 11th Edition 2024. If you like 2-in-1 tablet PCs with a detachable keyboard, check out the Microsoft Surface Pro 11th Edition 2024. This new model's external design doesn't stray far from its predecessors. It's still a premium-feeling tablet with a sturdy built-in kickstand, a comfortable Alcantara-covered type cover keyboard, and pen input support. The new Flex keyboard has a larger haptic touchpad that's easier to use, and it's Bluetooth-enabled, so you can use the keyboard even when detached from the tablet, giving you more flexibility to position the device to your liking. You get Wi-Fi 7 wireless connectivity, an outstanding 1440p front-facing webcam, a 10MP back-facing camera, and Windows Hello support for quick logins. Unfortunately, like the last Surface Pro, its port selection is limited to 2 USB-Cs, and you must buy the keyboard and stylus separately. The most important thing to know about this device is that it runs on an ARM processor. This isn't the first time Microsoft has attempted to make an ARM-based Surface Pro, but it does seem like they've put much more effort into it this time around, introducing a new Prism emulation layer to improve compatibility with x86 apps. Still, make sure the apps you use are compatible or can run well enough through emulation to get your work done. The Snapdragon X Plus and X Elite chips perform well and are quite power efficient, giving you up to 11 to 12 hours of light use on a full charge. Another thing to know is that the Snapdragon X Plus model comes with an IPS panel, while the X Elite model comes with an OLED panel. The OLED display will give you deeper blacks. However, it exhibits what's commonly known as the screen door effect, meaning the digitizer is visible, creating a grid-like pattern that some may find distracting. Number 4. Lenovo IdeaPad Slim 3i, Chromebook 14. The Lenovo IdeaPad Slim 3i Chromebook 14 2023 is our best cheap laptop pick. This compact model is a great option if you only need a simple device for light productivity tasks like text processing, web browsing, and video playback. The Core i3 configuration, paired with an FHD display, 8GB of RAM, and 128GB of storage, is regularly on sale through Lenovo. The cheaper configurations with an Intel N100 or N200 CPU and/or 4GB of RAM are fine if you have an extremely light workload. Just know that they'll get bogged down quickly when multitasking. As for the display, avoid the 768p TN display and get a model with a 1080p touch-sensitive IPS panel. Not only does it look sharper, but it also has better viewing angles and color reproduction. Unfortunately, the keyboard feels slightly mushy, and the touchpad is small and sometimes unresponsive. Its 1080p webcam is excellent, which is surprising for a budget-friendly Chromebook. The battery lasts around 13 hours of light use and charges over USB-C. Lastly, ensure you can do everything through a Chrome browser or Android app because Chrome OS is limited in the type of applications you can install. The Lenovo IdeaPad 3i Chromebook is good for school use. It's easy to carry around, and its battery lasts over 13 hours of light use. It has a sharp, bright display, a spacious but slightly mushy keyboard, and an excellent 1080p webcam. Its Intel CPU has no problem handling nearly anything you can do on a Chromebook, but don't expect to do anything remotely intensive. Also, this laptop isn't ideal for students requiring specialized software that only runs on Windows on macOS. Number 3. Asus Vivobook 16 M1605. The best budget laptop we've tested is the Asus Vivobook 16 M1605 2023. This 16-inch ultra-portable feels well built for the price, and it isn't overly bulky for a 16-inch device, so it's still easy to carry around. You can configure it with an AMD Ryzen 5 or Ryzen 7 CPU, which are more than adequate to handle productivity tasks like text processing, web browsing, spreadsheets, and video playback. As for the RAM, it has 8GB soldered onto the motherboard in a SODIMM slot, so if you can't find a model with 16GB, you can always get an 8GB model and upgrade it yourself. Its battery life is okay at around 8 hours of light use, so depending on your workload, you may have to plug it in for a quick charge. This model delivers a pretty good user experience overall. It has a spacious full-size keyboard with a numpad, which is handy for those working with lots of numbers, as well as a large and responsive touchpad. You get Wi-Fi 6E wireless connectivity, a fingerprint sensor for quick logins, and a decent port selection with 3 USB-As, a USB-C, and an HDMI. Unfortunately, the USB-C doesn't support video output, so you'll have to rely on the HDMI to connect an external display. Our main gripe with this laptop is the display. Its 1080p resolution looks reasonably sharp at this screen size. However, it's quite dim, as it only reaches 250 CTOR-DM2s of brightness, so visibility may be an issue in well-lit rooms. It also looks a bit washed out due to its narrow color gamut. The Asus Vivobook 16 is good for business use. It's easy to carry, and its battery lasts long enough to get you through a typical 8-hour workday. Number 2. HP Pavilion Aero 13 2024. Our mid-range pick is the HP Pavilion Aero 13 2024, also a 13-inch ultra-portable. It's configurable with AMD's Zen 4 Ryzen CPUs, which are more than adequate to handle light, general productivity tasks, and even some moderately demanding workloads like programming. Display options include an FHD Plus and a QHD Plus IPS panel. Both look sharp and get bright enough to combat glare in well-lit settings. You get a 1440p webcam with facial recognition support for quick logins, as well as a wide port selection with 4 USBs and a true HDMI 2.1. Battery life is great at around 10 hours of light use. You can charge the laptop via USB-C, so you won't have to deal with a proprietary charger. Unfortunately, its build quality is a pretty significant step down from our picks above, and the biggest compromise for this model's more budget-friendly price. Its aluminum and plastic chassis flexes a fair amount, and the device as a whole feels hollow and cheap. Also, the finish scratches easily from everyday use. Another minor complaint is the touchpad. It's plastic and doesn't track continuous inputs all that well, like when dragging and dropping items across a long distance. The keyboard is great to use and takes no time to get used to, and its microphone does a great job picking up your voice. Unfortunately, the finish scratches easily from regular use. The webcam also isn't great as its image is overexposed. You may look unnatural in online classes. Finally, while the Ryzen 7 8840HS can perform some intensive tasks like programming, other configurations of this laptop aren't the best choice for students with demanding workflows. Number 1. Apple MacBook Pro 14 M3. The best laptop we've tested is the Apple MacBook Pro 14 M3 2023. This premium mobile workstation has a sturdy build, a compact design, and an incredible battery life. It provides an excellent user experience with its sharp 120Hz mini LED display, spacious keyboard, and gigantic easy-to-use touchpad. Equipped with Apple's new M3 Pro Max SoCs, it can handle even the most demanding workloads, like 3D graphics and simulations. The display is suitable for color-critical work like photo and video editing, as it has a wide color gamut and superb factory calibration. The Apple MacBook Pro 16 M3 2023 is also a good choice if you need more screen space and don't mind paying more. It's the same device, but with better sounding speakers. On the Windows side, we recommend the Lenovo ThinkPad P1 Gen 7 2024, also a premium workstation laptop that can handle intensive workloads. It has a large 16-inch display for multitasking, Lenovo's beloved keyboard and track point, a haptic touchpad, and an excellent 1440p webcam. While its Intel Meteor Lake processors won't give you as much CPU processing power as a maxed-out MacBook Pro, you can get more raw GPU performance if you go with one of the higher-end GPUs, like the NVIDIA RTX Ada Generation 3000 or RTX 4070. As for the RAM, you can only get up to 64GB, user upgradable to 96GB, whereas the MacBook Pro is configurable with up to 128GB. Unfortunately, it gets hotter and louder under load, and none of the available displays get as bright as the MacBook Pro's mini LED panel.